Between now and Free Thinking, we're back at London's Royal Festival Hall for more from Sunday night's concert there. The concert itself called Pipes versus Mics, and it was an unusual celebration of the hall's newly refurbished organ. It featured 4 musical world premieres and 10 new poems, all bringing together the pipes of the Festival Hall organ with the mics used by beatboxer Shlomo and the performance poets. And as a kind of coda to Radio 3's 2-week Southbank residency, we've highlights from the concert each evening this week after the Radio 3 Live in concert. One of the poems first, Tour de Force it's called, and it's introduced by the man who wrote it, Ben Norris.
There are 3 things you need to know before I start for this poem to make any sense. One is that this organ was designed by a man called Rafe Downes. 2 is that one of the chief opponents of his highly controversial design was the enduringly popular British composer Ralph Vaughan Williams. And 3, last year, Rick Haythorne-Thwaite, the chairman of the Southbank Centre, cycled with a peloton of 6, 300 miles from the Harrison & Harrison organ factory in Durham to here, the Southbank Centre. On that journey, he brought with him the last remaining pipe. Okay, here we go. Tom. We're in Durham, and all of England is a smoky boardroom. Rafe Downes sits at one end of a 300-mile-long oak table, heavy with prejudice, and rocks back on his saddle. Before him lies town after flattened post-war town, London not a twinkle on the brow of a hill here. Before him lie 1,000 anachronisms and minds for the changing. In his pocket, the final Festival Hall organ pipe. He stands, feet sunk deep into the pedals, and breathes in a last lungful of Geordie air while a modest marching band play him a send-off song that could be a funeral march if it wasn't so damn cheery. He says to himself that history never remembers the fence-sitters and snaps out of his blocks. Hot in pursuit is an angry Ralph Vaughan Williams, the angel of the north at his back, tradition with a capital T. See, Vaughan Williams rides a British bike and Downes a German machine. One is the other one's elder and wiser. Vaughan Williams a shrewd and experienced rider. They gun for the same end by different routes. One wants the organ naked, the other in suit. See, Vaughan Williams favours the properly voiced, whereas Downes, he just wants it to sing. This is War of the Ralphs. This is music v noise. It's a stark generational thing. Downes hits York at dusk, with history hot on his heels. Yes, Vaughan Williams is on a penny farthing, but he's rocking fulcrum racing wheels. In the dark, all the roads start to look the same. Have we been here before? Downes's drive duly dips in the dark, all the roads start to look the same. Newark-on-Trent at midnight, then it starts to rain. And he steels himself to push again, forging life into his chain. He thinks of Auden's night mail train. His priceless cargo keeps him sane. The verse might dance, but the beat won't wane. And trusty I am stump his brain. He changes gear, his tiredness fades. He tells himself how far he came, from Europe to the USA, the North and Midlands just today. A flash of grey, he hits the brakes, but it's too late and he crashes straight into a badger. Skidding elbow first along the tarmac. Downes is down, the badger's dead. He checks the pipe, gives his bloody arm a wipe, when Ralph Vaughan Williams flashes by, and just as fast, he's out of sight. The next few hours are the hardest grind, but he's got a man to chase. The plan to catch an ideology and Mooney in its face, to put tradition in its place, which is second in this case. This is Stop the Pigeon, with the pigeon chasing back. Vaughan Williams is Dick Dastardly, and he's laying countless booby traps. He digs a hole near Oundle, but doesn't cover it. He paints a tunnel on a wall, but it's too easily missed. By sunrise, Downes is closing in. The fulcrum wheel's no match for him. Youth and boldness had to win. They had to win. He had to win. Dawn breaks, and the gallant courier Yankee Doodle Pigeon streaks across the sky. His job? Get that message through. They draw level just south of Bedford, and Downes readies himself for a sprint. before Vaughan Williams learns that penny farthings were invented by a Frenchman, and so abandons his in a ditch, disgusted, defeated. It's a generational thing. In Hitchin, Down stops for a full English breakfast. German sausages, hash browns, San Marzano tomatoes, Dutch bacon, Kenyan tea, a full English. He saunters belly first into London. His last stop pulled to make his midday deadline. He hears St Paul's bells ringing mass and cycles past. A choir on the Southbank sing him home, the great-grandchildren of Durham's brass. They're singing his adversaries' serenade to music, and Downs would think it cheesy if it wasn't so damn right. He slots the final pipe in place, history replacing itself, stands back and sees a forest first, and then a cityscape itself. You can hear all the accents of England, hear all the accents of the world. Listen. Shakespeare's words, Vaughan Williams' strings, the turning of a page. Thanks very much.
Ben Norris. Ben Norris.
Tour de Force, written and spoken there by Ben Norris, with contributions from beatboxer Shlomo and Tom Bell, playing the Royal Festival Hall organ. One of the poems inspired by the Hall's organ in Sunday night's concert there, the concert itself called Pipes versus Mics, and another of the poems in a little over 10 minutes' time. Meanwhile...